We're on page 104. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seitem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch. Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and Pesach Sameach. We may very well be saded out by this point of the week, but we're hopefully not all Jewished out, and we still have time to sing and space in our hearts to embrace the peace that Shabbat gives us in the midst of quite a busy festival. So we're going to celebrate the wonderful music that our tradition has with the words of Zamru, which you can find on your shul sheets. Zamru l'Adonai b'chino, b'chino v'kol zimra. 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 l'Adonai, Bechino, Bechino, Bechozimra, Adonai, Os le'amo yitein Adonai, Yevarech et amo. Adonai, Os le'amo yitein Adonai, Yevarech et amo. Adonai, Os le'amo yitein Adonai, Yevarech et amo. The moment when we welcome Shabbat by lighting our Shabbat candles. We invite everyone to stand, and I wonder if Gloria and Dahlia might want to come. Would you like to come and light candles? You can follow the blessings on our shore sheet. I think it's coming.
We're really all welcoming the light of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu
melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen.
Shabbat shalom.
Shalom.
And we're on page 121. Please do take your seats for the words of Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. 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 Shamo v'zacho b'dibur echad, Ishmi'anu el ha'meyuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, L'shemo letiferet v'litila. Lecha דודי, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי בעורף קומי אורי, 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 שתדברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. בואי בשלום עצרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
It's so wonderful to see so many faces here on our Shabbat evening service, but it's also important to remember that everybody is coming here from a different place, be it joy, be it sadness, be it community, needing to see the Shabbat candles. So it's important that we hold each other in this space, wherever we're coming from, and we're going to greet some of those who may be mourning and comfort them together with this blessing. Hamakom yanechem etchem b'toch sha'a ha'avelim. And now we're going to come together on page 124 for Psalm 92.
מזמור שיר יום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני. ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות. עלי עשור ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון בחינוך, כי שמחתני אדוני בפועלך, במעשה ידיך ארנן. מה גדלו מעשיך אדוני, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. איש פעל לא ידע, וכסיל לא יבין את זאת. בפרוח רשעים כמו עשב, ויציצו כל פועלי אבן, לשמדם עדי עד. ואתה מרום לעולם אדוני, כי הנה אויביך, אדוני, כי הנה אויביך יאבדו, יתפרדו כל פועלי אבן. ותרם כרעם קני בלותי בשמן רענן, ותביטני בשורי, וקמים אלי מרעים, תשמענה אוזני. Tzadik hatama yifrach, ke'eretz balvanon yizkeh, shtulim beveit Adonai, v'chatzrot Eloheinu yafrihu. Od yenuvun b'seva, t'sheni v'rananim yiyu, lehagid ki yasha Adonai, tzuri v'lo avlat abo. Please stand.
Baruch hu et Adonai havorach.
Baruch Adonai hamevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai hamevorach le'olam va'ed. Yai rai rai, yai rai rai rai, yai rai 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 rai, yai rai rai, yai rai rai rai, yai rai 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 rai. Having called each other to prayer, let's read together on page 128. Blessed are you, our God and Creator, sovereign of the universe, whose word brings on the evening twilight, who opens the gates of dawn with wisdom, and with foresight makes times pass and seasons change. Your plan sets the stars in their courses in the sky, creating day and night, turning light into darkness and darkness into light. You make the day fade away and bring on the night, separating day and night. You are the ruler of the hosts of heaven. Blessed are you, God, who brings on the evening twilight. Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amecha ahavta, Amcha ahavta. Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadata. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shochbeinu, uv'kumeinu nasiach b'chukecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, uv'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu, ve'orech yameinu, Uvahem nege yomam v'layla, nege yomam v'layla. Ve'ahavatecha al tasir, mimenu le'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev et amo Yisrael.
Shema
Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. We take a moment to read the second paragraph of the Shema for ourselves on page 132, and we'll come back together on page 134. ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל ואמרת עליהם, ועשו להם ציצית על כנפי בגדיהם לדורותם, ונתנו על ציצית הכנף פתיל תכלת, והיה לכם לציצית, וריתם אותו, וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני, ועשיתם אותם, ולא תתורו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם, אשר אתם זונים אחריהם, למען תזכרו, ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני Adonai Elohim. All this is true and firmly held by us, that you are our living God and no other exists, and that we are Israel, your people. You perform great deeds beyond research, too wonderful to tell. Your children saw your power, praised and thanked your name, and willingly accepted your rule over them. With great joy, Moses and Miriam and the children of Israel answered you in song, all of them saying, Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, Nora tehilo Oseh Peleh, Nora tehilo Oseh Peleh, Malchut Adonai Eloheinu, Ra'u v'necha al hayam, Yachad kulam hodu, והמליכו ואמרו
Adonai
ימלוך לעולם ועד.
Adonai
ימלוך לעולם ועד. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש. ונאמר, כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל Yisrael. We're going to turn back into our shul sheets for the words of Hashkivenu, our blessing that we say only in the evening, asking for peace and protection, which we now need now more than we ever have. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us with wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Baruch atah Adonai, haperes sukat shalom aleinu, v'al amo Yisrael, v'al kol ha'olam. We're back in our books on page 137. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת, לדורותם ברית עולם, ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש. Please stand if you're able.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה.
Amen.
ועמל דברכותי והמליך מלכותי.
בחייכון וביומכון
ובחיידיכו בית ישראל. בגאלה ובזמן קריב ועמהו.
Amen.
יהי
Shemei Rabba Mevarach, Le'alam Ulal Me'al Maya, Yitbarach.
Yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'av, v'yitroman, v'yitnaseh, v'yitada, v'yitale, v'yitalal, Shemei Dikudsha,
Brichu.
Le'elam min kol bechata, v'shirata,
Tushbechata v'nechemata,
Tiamiram be'alma, v'imeru.
Amen. On page 140, we're going to sing our way into our Amidah, and we're going to have some time for some individual silent contemplation or prayer. You can follow what's in the book, or you can simply follow your own heart and your own thoughts. Do remember, if you're following in the book, then there is the addition on page 146 for Pesach, and then we're going to come back together in the middle of page 149 to end our Amidah together. Adonai, Sefatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagi, Tehilatecha, Adonai, Sefatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagi, Tehilatecha. And please do take your seats. So I'm not going to give a full Devar Torah this evening. I thought I might just give a few thoughts on the fact that we're in the middle of Pesach now, and we just last night started counting the Omer. And the Omer can be this very strange practice that we do. And I thought I might say a few words about where it comes from and what it might mean for us today. So it originates in the Torah as a way of counting between two harvests. It's an agricultural counting. You count 7 weeks or 49 days between the barley harvest at Pesach and the wheat harvest at Shavuot. But in the Torah, there's a confusion, a little kind of word that's thrown in there to confuse everybody and to make things more difficult, which is it says that you should start counting from the Shabbat onwards until you get to Shavuot. And this caused a problem for communities, not in the biblical period, but coming later, probably about 500 to 600 years later than the biblical authors, because around the turn of the first millennium of the Common Era, there were two groups who read this very differently. Because if you read it literally as the Shabbat after Pesach, that would mean we would start counting the Omer either tonight or tomorrow night. You'd start counting at the Shabbat. And that is how one group of people within Israeli society at that time would read it. And they'd say you start counting on the Shabbat. Others would say, no, the Shabbat refers to Pesach itself, the first day of Pesach, because it's a kind of Shabbat. We don't work. It's a bit like we call Yom Kippur Shabbat Shabbaton. So festivals are kind of like Shabbat. And so the rabbis of the time said, no, it means Shabbat. So there was this schism in the Jewish community between those who said Literally, it means the Shabbat, the Saturday, the Friday night Saturday, and those who said that it was Pesach. And that is where this practice of reading it out loud came from. Because if you're disagreeing about when you start counting, then if you literally make everybody in the community count it out loud and everyone has to say the same night every time you do it, then you can't disagree. And in fact, you make it even harder by making it a mitzvah to count it. And then if you make it a mitzvah, you have to add on a blessing, a sheh kedishani b'mitzvah tav. It makes it much more difficult to count something different in your head, because then you become a kind of heretic because you're saying something different against God. And so the rabbis of the time used the counting of the Omer, the counting out loud of the days of the Omer, as a kind of coercive mechanism by which to bring everyone into line with them. And that's where we get this practice from, through various layers of historical development. Now, I'm not saying that's the only significance it has now. Right? There are lots of different significances that the Omer has now, and there are lots of very mystical associations that have become associated with the Omer. There are lots of calendars out there where different values and different ideas are associated with each day of the Omer. But the fact that it begins as a practice in order to ensure that we all think the same or all speak the same is maybe not the most healthy beginning to a practice that we keep doing today. Of course, one of the other positives that it had is that it gave cause for all kinds of creativity, including our own wonderful Omer calendar, which we're going to add a sheaf to every time we have a service. We weren't able to get it upstairs because it's too heavy to get it up the stairs and it's too big to go in the lift. But we will be adding a sheaf as we go downstairs, as we leave the building today. And that's actually what got me thinking about the Omer. For me, the Omer is all about relationship. Because there's another story that's told around the time of the rabbis, and that's the story of Rabbi Akiva's students. The Talmud, I think, perhaps exaggerates when it says that Rabbi Akiva had 24,000 students. That's quite a lot. All rabbis can aspire to have so many disciples. And that they all, it says, died in one plague that happened at this time of year during the Omer. And it says, why did that happen? It says, because they did not treat each other with respect. And so I think that actually the Omer today, the role that it can play is to remind us to have respect for one another. It can remind us of the importance of relationship. And I was also thinking in relation to this idea of relationship and keeping in touch about two of the symbols that we talked about in our Pesach Seder, that we actually put together in our Pesach Seder. The first was the green herb, which for most people was probably a bunch of parsley, I imagine. We took that green herb because it represents fertility, it represents new life, it represents the spring and all kinds of possibility. But we dipped it into salt water. We dipped it into bitterness, suffering, things that are a result of upset, tears, the tears of the Israelites. And I think that's also true of relationship, because relationships give us all kinds of possibilities. They give us all kinds of ways that we can be in the world, new things we can do in the world, and new ways we can be. But there's also always that risk that relationships can go wrong. There's always a risk that other people, as much as they can love us, can also harm us as well. And that's what I think comes with this idea of relationship also with that story of Rabbi Akiva. That Rabbi Akiva's students had this amazing opportunity to learn from one another. They had an amazing possibility that they could gain so much from one another, but because they didn't treat each other with respect, that ultimately led to their deaths. And I've also been thinking about this week because I've been reading on the Progressive Judaism website. There's a great feature on the Progressive Judaism website called The Latest Thought. And this week, The Latest Thought was written by Rabbi Leah Molstein from the Ark Synagogue in Northwood. And her post was called Staying in Relationship with Israel. Because over the last few weeks, especially for progressive Jews, there's been lots of cause for dismay and disappointment, lots of cause for pause when we think about our relationship with Israel. Firstly, with the proposed ban on egalitarian prayer at the Kotel, at the Western Wall. And secondly, with the passage this week of the bill which would make it possible to impose the death penalty on Palestinian terrorists. Now, whatever we think about those as individual laws, there is the potential that it can cause alienation from Israel from those who find those laws to be difficult and perhaps even not what we want the Jewish state to be doing. And Rabbi Mushtin says, it would be easy, even understandable, to step back, to say the dissonance between our desire to express solidarity and the disregard for our progressive Jewish values is too hard to bear, to disengage from a political reality that feels morally exhausting. But, she says, this is not the way forward. The way forward can only ever be in relationship and staying connected. She says, Judaism has never asked us to love uncritically, but it has always asked us to remain connected, to wrestle, to argue, to care enough not to walk away. The past weeks have made that painfully clear. And so what I took from Rabbi Leah Morstein's words and from the Omer this week is that importance of staying connected. And so as we continue to move through Pesach, may we all continue to stay connected, stay in relationship. It won't always be easy, but the payoffs are great. And we also then have the opportunity to change others as well, whether it's in our personal lives or in the world. Let's stay connected. Shabbat Shalom. And speaking of staying connected, in a moment we're going to sing the words of Dodi Li, which are from the Song of Songs, which are all about connection and relationship as well. But for the moment we're going to turn to page 310 for the words of Aleinu. As I said, we're going to count the Omer, which we normally do at this point. We're going to do it right at the end of the service, so we can head straight downstairs to then put our sheaf on the calendar. Please stand if you're able.
Aleinu לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, אשר בחר בנו מכל העמים, ונתן לנו את תורתו. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינת עוזו בגובה מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, כך כתוב בתורתו. וידעת היום והשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד.
And on page 313, על כן נקווה לך אדוני אלוהינו, לראות מהרה בתפארת עוזך, להביא גילולים מן הארץ, והאלים פירות שכרתים, לתקן עולם במלכות שדי, וכל בני בשר יקראו לשמך, להפנות אליך כל ראשי ארץ, יכירו וידעו כל יושבי תבל, כי שותפים כולנו בתיקון עולמך, כי המלכות שלך היא, ולעולמי עד תמלוך בכבוד, ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו On page 316, we prepare to recite the words of the Mourners Kaddish. And as we do, we think of all those in our community who are in mourning this week. And we regret to announce the deaths of Vivi Dimant, the mother of Amanda and Judith and the brother of Michael Lawson, the father of Amy and Claire and the brother of Susan, and of Natasha Payne, the wife of Danny. We hope that this Shabbat will be an opportunity for those families to mourn those they have lost, to remember them, and to gain consolation from friends and family. We think of those in the Shloshim and the Shana, the month and the year since the death of a loved one. And we stand alongside members of our community this week who are marking the yahrzeits of Serge Eisenstein, Lynette Ball, Judy Buton, Stanley Byrne, Joe Cohen, Zelda Enlander, Sarah Esrock, Israel Field, Belle Gerber, Joy Goldman, Abraham Guz, Ian Hermer, Harold Langdon, Stanley Lazar, Dennis Levinson, Jaime Levy, Peter Morris, Abraham Morris Moses, Norman Nathan, Bruce Orman, Betty Pearl, Rachel Phillips, Harvey Shriven, Anita Simon, Hannah Singer, and Oliver Tester. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for an abiding blessing. As I invite all those who are in mourning, all those who are remembering someone this Shabbat to join me in leading the community in Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah. Ma'al ma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei. V'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael. Ba'agalau v'zman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shemei
Rabbah mevarach le'olam u'almei almaya.
Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei v'yithadar v'yitalei v'yithalal shemei likudisha berichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata shbechata v'nechemata di'amiran ba'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shalama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Shalom b'mromav. Ya'aseh shalom.
Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael,
ve'al kol ha'olam,
ve'imru. Amen.
And please do take your seats. So there are plenty of things still to come over this Pesach period. There is obviously service tomorrow morning. We're going to be back up here again as we have our Romamud service together. So there's an opportunity for prayer, for hearing the Torah, and then for the parents to have a little bit of study, or the adults to have a bit of study, and then for kids to go out and have a little activity on their own, and then before we come back together. And then after that, there'll be an intergenerational family Seder lunch. So if you'd like to come to that and you haven't let us know, please let us know that you'd like to come. And then for 7th day Pesach, you can join us. There's all the information on the shore sheet. On the 7th of April, on Tuesday the 7th, there'll be a study service, opportunity to both pray and to study together. And then on Wednesday, an opportunity to hear Shirat Hayam, the Song of the Sea, as we remember the moment in which the Israelites passed through the Sea of Reeds. That's Wednesday the 8th in the morning. Lots of other things coming up. Please do check your shore sheets for Yom HaShoah and Yom HaZikaron, Yom HaAtzmaut. There's lots happening, so please do check out the shore sheet.
And for the little ones,
of course,
if you're slightly too little for Romamu, which is totally fine, everyone's welcome at Romamu, but if you feel that your relatives, children, etc. are too little, we have Sensory Shabbat also happening at 10:30 in parallel to the Romamu 11, in parallel, which will be really fun. It's a really fun opportunity to hang out with lots of really cute kids and do Shabbat together. So please join us for that as well.
We're going to sing in our shore sheets the words of Dodi Lee, from, as I said, from the Song of Songs, which we sing traditionally at Pesach. And as we sing, if those who are at the back of the room wouldn't mind giving out some grape juice, wine and matzah for us to enjoy together for Kiddush, that'd be wonderful. Thank you. Dodi paniro haroe bashoshani dodi paniro haroe bashoshani dodi mizotola min hamidba mizotola min hamidba dodi vanilo haroe Shoshanim Dodini Mekuteret Mo Ulevona Mekuteret Mo Ulevona Dodini Vanilo Shoshanim Dodini Shoshanim Dodini. If you'd like to join us for Kiddush, we're on page 452. Please stand if you're able. Vayachulu hashamayim v'haaretz v'chol tzva'am vayachal Elohim b'yom hashvi'i malachto asher asa vayishpot b'yom hashvi'i mikol malachto asher asa vayivarech Elohim et yom hashvi'i vayikadesh oto Ki vo Shabbat mikol malachto asher bara Elohim לעשות. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu Shabbat kodsho b'yahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom tefila lemikraye kodesh zecher litziat mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim V'shabbat kodshecha b'yahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-Shabbat.
Amen.
L'chaim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen. B'tei avon.
And before we depart, we'll count the Omer together so that those who are online can join us in the counting of the Omer, which you can find on your shore sheets. And then for those who are here, we'll go downstairs and affix our second sheaf of the year to our calendar. Let's read the blessing first. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu al sefirat ha'omer, hayom shnei yamim la'omer. Today is the second day of the Omer. Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and Pesach Sameach.
And make sure to wave to everybody online,
Okay.
the little camera at the back,
Actually, at the top of
actually at the top.
the. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Hi everyone.
Back Shalom, Simone, back from Deborah.
Shabbat
Shalom.
shalom.
Right,
Hello,
so
I'm booked to come on.
Okay.
I'm booked to come on Saturday. So perhaps I shouldn't come. There's lunch on Saturday. I haven't booked though to come.
Then just come.
Are you coming tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yes, I haven't booked, so if
Yeah,
it's
you
a
can come.
place,
Yeah,
yeah.
you said.
Yeah.
You said you can come.
Yeah, yeah.
Come. Just means everybody, it's not the end of the world. If we all have one math or less.
Pussycat. Just a moment.
I didn't know we were having it.
Well,
I
no,
didn't read it either.
Yeah. So did you enjoy the Seder night?
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
quite pleasant. Yes, I spoke to Rachel and Gary.
Yeah. It's nice to have our chair there. And you got Lynette.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just had a nice game of Scrabble this afternoon.
We did, we were neck and neck.
And we played double Scrabble. I'm looking for a cinema film to go and see tomorrow afternoon after 2.
What's the
What's everyone
film?
else doing?
Has everyone else had a good Seder?
Yes, thank you. What's the film tomorrow?
I don't know. I haven't seen. Gonna have a look. Bit for you. What's everyone else doing?
I don't know.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
That's
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat
Brendan,
Shalom. Shabbat
Right.
Shalom, Petra.
Deirdre, Brenda.
Might see you tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
Shabbat Shalom, Brenda.
See you then. Right.
Shalom.
Okay. Oh, washing up to do.
I'll quickly wash up before I go.